Effective teaching and learning cannot take place without the implementation of modern, thoughtful, and student-centered modes of assessment and feedback. More traditional methods of student assessment are linked to reduced self-esteem and motivation, thus leading to possible dropouts. Today, there is a wide range of assessment models allowing teachers a great choice with an end in mind. Choosing the right tool is more difficult now than ever. With much to consider, our group has decided to compare and contrast 3 assessment models to inform newly qualified teachers of best practices and the effects on teacher-student relationships while developing a positive learning environment. Assessment may also refer to a broad appraisal, including many sources of evidence, and many aspects of a pupil's knowledge, understanding, skills, and attitudes. We begin with 2 premises. The first one, that formative assessment is ongoing. It allows the teacher to check for understanding constantly and allow for changes in the teaching plans to suit the needs of the students. The second one is that summative assessment is the formal assessment at the end of the course that measures the extent to which students have understood the material covered in class. Ipsative assessment allows us to determine a student's progress based on their earlier work. Students are not compared to their peers or normative criteria, which is commonplace in more traditional models of assessment, which can demotivate students when they work hard, make good progress, but still attain a low grade. In contrast, ipsative assessment is a great motivator as students learn to take more pride in their work, getting a chance to refine and revise, consequently allowing them to learn from their mistakes. A mastery climate becomes central in a more positive learning environment. Criterion referenced assessment can be either formative or summative. It is used to determine an individual's status with respect to a well-defined behavior domain. It focuses mostly on measuring actions, and it contains explicit information on what the student can and cannot do while refraining from making performance comparisons between students. Criterion referenced assessment is at the heart of the IB education because it assesses student performance against specific criteria and not against other students. Norm-referenced assessment is the evaluation of a student's performance compared to another student or students in a class. This type of assessment is done to check the knowledge or skills of the students amongst the group. These tests determine a student's intelligence and compare it with the others. The objective of norm-referenced assessment is to identify the best candidate from a classroom or a group, evidently a true demotivator. Having seen the 3 methods of assessment, we can conclude that ipsative and criterion referenced assessment have more similarities than differences, unlike norm referenced assessment, where the differences are very marked. In norm referenced assessment, there is no differentiation between students. There is a sense of equality, as all of them must take the same test and they will be compared against each other. Therefore, there is a pressure to perform. In ipsative assessment, however, students have the possibility of working on the same piece of assessment and improve it. This will give them a sense of excelling, and they will be able to revise their work and make it better. Finally, criterion referenced assessment allows students to understand the criteria by which they will be assessed, and irrespective of whether the work is the same one or not, they can continue to improve it until they master the skills necessary to meet the criteria.